Good morning, everybody. My name's Phil Ike, and this morning I'm talking to Kimberly Marrone. She's the Director of Municipal Services down in Oak Park. Good morning, Kimberly. Happy Monday.
Good morning, Phil. Happy Monday to you too.
So before we jump into the nitty gritty, give me a little bit of a 101 of Oak Park. Talk to me like I've never been there.
Yeah, so Oak Park is an inner ring suburb of the city of Detroit, and we are approximately 30,000 residents, a little over 5 square miles. And we are a very, very diverse community, which we are extremely proud of. Over 50% are African American, and we have a strong Jewish population here as well. Um, We recently created some corridor improvement authorities, which is similar to a downtown development authority because we don't have a traditional downtown and we're just trying to make those commercial corridors cool and inviting for people to come to. So that's been a big focus for us. And uh, over 10 years ago, the city was kind of undiscovered, and now everybody is learning a little bit more about Oak Park and coming to visit us and enjoying what they see here.
Undiscovered except for the giant tire, right? Driving by on the highway.
Yeah.
um, when you think about Oak Park, I love that you pointed out that the layout of Oak Park is a little bit different than what we've been talking about with Michigan Main Street. You have a traditional downtown, but you have kind of a corridor. Can you describe that to me? Like when I hear the word corridor, what is it like in Oak Park?
Yeah, so part of the Corridor Improvement Authority consists of actually three corridors: our 11-mile road and Coolidge Highway and 9-mile road. And those are kind of the key commercial districts that were set up in kind of commercial pockets, similar to a downtown, but only a block or so in each area. So we kind of combined them together and created that those districts in order to better promote them, assist the businesses, and attract new investment.
Awesome. So you were working with the city when the idea of pursuing RRC certification kind of came onto the radar. What did you see in Oak Park as far as needs, and then how did you see RRC potentially meeting those needs?
Yeah, so we at the time were still working to redevelop our Armory property, which was 100 acres. And we had some other properties within the city as well that we needed to redevelop. And we really liked the concept that RRC put forward with kind of expediting permitting and site plan review. And we were kind of doing that here already, but we wanted to pick up all of the best practices, let's say, and see how we could do things better here. So
Mhm.
we like to help our businesses and expedite all of the site plan reviews and permitting processes so that the development is quicker, faster, and doesn't scare away developers.
Yeah, I was gonna dig into that part of a little bit and just why is it important to expedite those processes. I think it's easy for um, communities that might be capacity strapped and resource strapped, like all of us are,
Right.
really to say, well, that's good enough. Like I'll get to it later. But for you guys in Oak Park, why was it so important that site plan reviews and other things are expedited in a really timely, streamlined way? Why was that so important?
It's important because we want to make developers attracted to work with our community and invest more money here. So anything we can do to take the red tape out of the way. Time is money for developers, and if it's taking them a long time and there's a lot of hurdles to jump through, they'll try and avoid your community.
Mhm.
Um, we're pretty proud that, at least in the 10 years I've been here, that all of our site plans are approved on the first round. And that's because we meet with the developers early on, talk to them about what needs to be changed on the site plan. So there's no tabling at the planning commission. They have it well thought out, and it's a one-stop process. And our building review period is 2 weeks or less, as long as everything is accurate on the plans and no amendments. We can get those approved within 2 weeks. So
Wow. Wow, that's smoking. You guys are cranking over there. I love this because it's easy for us to not really understand the consequences of delays and
Mhm.
going back to the drawing board and things like that. Like we'll get to it when we get to it, but like you said, developers are looking for a community where momentum is happening and they
Yeah.
feel like, okay, we're on the same team, we're on the same page, we're working together. Especially with the RRC acronym, more and more communities having that under their belt, it's easy for a developer to say, hey, this is kind of turning into a train wreck, I'm going to go look for another community.
Yeah, yeah, and that happens with a lot of developers. If we can make it easier for them, and then they can tell it to other developers, and that helps us.
Yeah, yeah. So, about how long did you start the RRC process, and kind of walk me through what it was like from your experience?
Yeah, so when we began the RRC process, we went through all the training programs that they have offered, made sure some of our planning commission and city council attended those as well as our staff here, and then went through the checklist that they provide to you that you need to comply with in order to be certified, and just kind of plugged away at it. It took us probably about a year to get through the process, but pretty painless. We just kind of plugged away at it and did each thing at the time frame that we had. Um, I would say that we did a lot of R&D, as we call it here, rip off and duplicate, where we contacted other communities and said, okay, how are you doing this to meet the compliance with the RC, and adopted some of their stuff. Of course, changed it to kind of reflect our community, but gave us a little framework.
I love the rip off and duplicate. I used to be a elementary school teacher, and one of my professors in college, he said that the mark of a great teacher is being a great thief, and and he went on to explain it like you think that you're this special little snowflake and nobody's ever encountered the problems that you have, and you're full of gusto or ego or however you want to describe it. But his point was there's a lot of people that came before you with decades
Mhm.
of experience, cumulative hundreds, thousands of years of experience. Why would you not ask them for help and help your students faster? And Jeff Sigler from Revitalize or Die, a friend of mine, says the same thing about communities, in that we love to pride ourselves on being individual and different and not like any other place on the world, which is absolutely true. But what community hasn't dealt with questions like, how do we get more development? How do
Yeah.
we cultivate small businesses? Those are basic fundamental questions. And so why not reach out to communities who have solved these problems or made a lot of progress and say, hey, can you help us? Give us your cheat sheet.
Yeah, absolutely. And, why recreate the wheel when they're doing the same things we are? And, yeah, you have to make some amendments just to reflect your community, but
Yeah.
there's no point going through that whole process from scratch.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Oak Park is a great example of the adaptability of RRC, because it's not like a cookie cutter. You have to be this kind of community with X, Y, and Z. Like here's kind of a unique community in the realm of communities, and it still works, and I love that.
Yeah.
Now that you've gone through the process, kind of give me the results. What have you seen, or what projects have benefited from this certification?
Yeah, so kind of the highlights in Oak Park are our Armory property, which was 100 vacant acres, is now 100% fully developed with
Wow.
projects. I know we worked with a developer out in Chicago that it was their first investment in actually Michigan. So they built a 320,000 square foot facility, and we were able to expedite that entire project, and they would love to do more investment here. We just need more property that's vacant for them to do. But they were very impressed at how fast the process went for them. So that was a big win for us. On 11 Mile Road, we rezoned an industrial area into mixed use. And now that has become kind of our vibrant commercial corridor that now has two breweries, has 3 restaurants, and more to come on that area, as well as some fitness centers and batting hitting facilities. So it's turning into its own little entity. We also made that our social district. As you know, in Michigan, liquor control lets us drink outdoors now with our social districts, and we're working on redoing our public parking lots in that area to create some social gathering spaces to attract more people to come there as well. And then one of the things we did tap into with the RRC program is a mixed use project that we're working with a longtime business owner in the city of Oak Park for Ernie's Market. He has a vacant lot next door to his current deli and wants to do a mixed use development. So RRC gave us some technical assistance dollars to work with an architect to develop some plans so that we can get some cost estimates. And we're working through trying to reduce those costs to make it a feasible project at the moment. So those RRC funds are very helpful for us. We also used RRC funds early on in the project to totally rewrite our zoning ordinances. So that was helpful for us as well.
When you said the armory project and you had 100 acres and now it's completely developed, I heard a collective like minds being blown in a lot of our communities because you're looking at that one building that's been vacant for a long time, and I really wish that we could do something. But here you are talking about like 100 acres. I mean, that's such a huge scale for so many of our communities, completely full, and saying things like, he wants to do more business. We just have to find more vacant property for him. It's like that, such an amazing gift. And I I, w- I want to connect this to when you said it was the first investment in Michigan and now wants to do more. I think that RRC has such a benefit for our individual communities, but here's such a great example of how collectively it can benefit the entire state because you have these developers, maybe out of state, maybe in state, but never really experienced other communities as well. I mean, if we can all really make it as painless as possible for people to invest in our communities, that investment goes up. uh, Other communities benefit, our state as a whole benefits. We start to become this place where people really want to look and they really want to invest because they see the potential. And Oak Park's such a great example of that. It sounds like you guys are crushing it.
Yeah, we've been very fortunate on our end here. So
Awesome.
we hope to see more, obviously, but
Yeah. If talk to me like I'm a community about to take the plunge, about to jump in. What were some keys to success from your end in completing this project and coming out the other side in a better way?
yeah, I mean, we worked very closely with the RC coordinator that was assigned to us, and she was amazing in kind of helping us through the process and pointing to communities that had gone through it already that we might be able to do our R&D with. And we definitely connected with communities who had gone through the program already and talked to them about their experience, and they shared their resources and what they'd done. So definitely working with other communities. We always try to partner with everything we do, whether it's grants or projects. Um, seeing what other communities do and how we can help each other is always
Mhm.
helpful.
So you're saying ask for help.
Yeah, yeah. And
So
most communities are more than willing to do it.
yeah, I've run into the same thing too. Like you go into it thinking everybody's going to keep their cards close to the chest, and it's very competitive and things like that. And
Yeah.
it is not at all. Every once in a
No.
while, you will run into a community like that for whatever reason, but for the most part, people will literally throw whatever you want at you. Like, let me give you the binder of all of the stuff
Yep.
that we did. And that's such a huge relief, especially working in communities where we're like, all I want is somebody to help me, or I wish I had two more employees to do this. Well, you can ask for help to your coordinator or other communities that have done it, and they'll help you out. Now, talk to me like I'm a community maybe thinking about it, but I'm scared off because it might just be me in the office leading this charge, or me and a staff person and an intern, and we're already bursting at the seams in the capacity, and I'm a little bit nervous about it being overwhelming. We know we need it. We know we need help with ordinances, modernizing those, making it more streamlined. Talk to me like I'm a community knowing that this is necessary for us, but a little bit scared about the process.
Yeah, I think the best advice I'd have for anybody is to make sure that they aren't afraid to ask for help. I know we've worked with many other communities going through the process after we did to help them out, and pick up the phone or send an email and ask for some help. And if you're the only person in the office, if it takes you 2 years to get through the program because you don't have the bandwidth, then just continue to go down that path until you can meet all the requirements. You'll probably find that you already have a lot of the policies in place, so you can check those boxes off pretty quick. And you can also get some technical assistance through the RC program as you go through the process to maybe hire a consultant to do some of that work for you. But each thing you check off the list will make you a better community and more attractive to developers that you can make their process a little bit better for them.
Yeah, yeah. I love that you said, pointing out you can work at your own pace. It's not
Yeah,
in 3 weeks we're gonna need this stack, or in six
yeah,
weeks. Like, you can move based on your capacity. And I just want to say, in talking to all of these communities, the if it takes you 2 years, the you and the community 2 years from now, it's going to thank the you from now, saying, we're
yeah.
so glad that we started this process, because you came out and now you can really be proud of the information that you're communicating to developers, and saying, we are ready for you. We want you to be here. We want to support what you can do for this community. And so, man, it sounds like such a beneficial program.
It is, yeah. No, we're grateful we went through it and enjoy all of the assistance we get throughout the process and continuing to be certified.
Yeah. Yes. Awesome. Well, Kimberly Marrone, I want to thank you so much for spending time today. I'm going to be cheering Oak Park on from Bay City. Every time I swing by that tire now, I'm going to want to peek by and see what you guys got cooking. So thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much.
Thanks, Phil. Bye bye.